It is week 10 of Big Pick Energy. It is time for favorites, underdogs, overs, and unders. James is up 4 games, and we are a combined 44 and 28 on the season. If you want locks every single week, you know where to find them here on Big Pick Energy. James, you go ahead since you have the lead. What are your picks for week 10?
Hell yeah, big dog, man. Let's hold it down. Let's go. My favorite of the week is going to be Bucks minus 2.5. Why? Since 2003, teams that are coming off a bye and teams that are not, who are the Patriots, have won a grand total about 56% of their games, but are 6-0 this year. So I'm favoring the Bucks there. But also another trend against the Patriots is that the Patriots currently have a 6-game winning streak. Teams who have a 6-game winning streak and our underdogs week 10 or later since 2004 are 27, 42, and 1 against the spread. Next, hey, nobody's going to pick this team, Spence. Trust me. Give me the Dolphins plus 9.5. Oh, yikes, man. Disgusting. Why Tua? Why this god awful team? Well, guess what? Spence, hey, we always follow the trends. Teams that, get beat by 20 plus next week, 69, 46, and 1 against the spread. And Tua on a second consecutive game at home is 10-2 straight up and 9-3 against the spread. Let's get Jalen Waddle. Let's get Devon A-Chain. Let's get Tua. Let's get the Dolphins back on board. Plus, anyways, this may be a look ahead spot, an emotional victory from the Chiefs game versus the Bills. Next, man, hey, we're going the over. I'm not going to lie, Spence. I'm going Seahawks and Cardinals. No trends here, just straight vibes. We joke about Sammy D. We joke about maybe Jacoby Brissett. But holy crap, these two guys look like they know how to run an efficient freaking offense. And guess what? We have JSN, who you mentioned, best receiver in the league at this moment. You got Trey McBride on the other side. I see a lot of points coming out of these two teams. So, hey, you know us, man. We just want points. We want a great game. And then lastly, I'm going with a small under. I was thinking about going back to the Texans well on the freaking under train. But this week I'm going under 37.5. Browns and Jets. Ugh, golly. This pick, Spence, I don't even know why I did it, but guess what? Both teams are coming off a bye. And when both teams come off a bye, the under is 23, 13, and 1 since 2015. But now that both teams have extended rests, since 2018, the under has hit about 61% of the time at a sample size of 200 games. So we're just looking for god awful, ugly games, an ugly point play with the Browns, with Dylan Gabriel and Justin Fields. At the end of the day, man, guess what, Spence? I went 4-0 last week. Let's go 4-0 again, big dog.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, I like all your picks. I'll say this. The one pick I'm not a big fan of and I have a slight disagreement with is just the Cardinals and Seahawks over. This feels like one of those ugly division games, James.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the Seahawks defense is really, really hot right now. And yes, Jacoby Brissett has looked unreal in these past few weeks for the Cardinals. But I feel like he only looks like that because we're comparing him to how mid Kyler Murray has looked this season. And
Correct.
I think that's why we're maybe hyping it up a little bit in our minds.
Maybe a little bit.
But I will say this. I love the Dolphins pick there. I'm going to talk about that game when we get to my picks a little bit there. But I think that's going to be a much closer game than people think. All right. Well, I'll give you my picks now, James. You mentioned the Texans and the Jaguars game. That you almost made that your under. Well, I am going to buy the victory this week. I am going to pick the Jaguars to cover -1.5. I'm surprised this is not a much bigger line because CJ Stroud ruled out very early this week with a concussion. He will miss this game. Davis Mills will start. And there's going to be a lot of Texans fans that are going to try to convince you that Davis Mills could be the starting quarterback on a lot of NFL teams. I do not believe that is the case. I think he is a very serviceable backup, but against a Jaguars defense that has been turning over every single quarterback they have played this year, I don't see this going well for Davis Mills. The Jaguars are a contending team in the AFC, and the Texans, I thought were going to make a statement win last week against the Broncos. They had a chance to. But the CJ Stroud concussion, coupled with the fact that this offense cannot convert in the red zone, I don't see them getting this victory. I think the Jaguars win and complete the season sweep of the Texans in the AFC South. My underdog this week, I'm buying in on the J.J. McCarthy hype. We've seen him play 3 games fully this year, and in that time, we've really only seen him play about 4 or 5 good quarters of football. There's been a lot of bad J.J. McCarthy film out this year, but I'm a believer in him, and I think as he gets going, because remember, this is not someone who's an experienced quarterback. He is very, very raw in the NFL, even though this is his second year. He's still learning how to play quarterback at the NFL level. I think he's going to continue to get better. And look, here's the deal. The Ravens, as much as Lamar Jackson coming back has improved them, I think going into Minnesota, one of the toughest road environments in the NFL, with the Minnesota defense, I think is ready for the task of Lamar Jackson. And this defense is still terrible for the Ravens. I've not forgotten this. I think the Vikings are going to pull this one out, and I think they reassert themselves in the picture in the NFC. My over this week, I'm going to another game you mentioned earlier, James. I'm going to the Patriots and Buccaneers over 48.5. I look at this as 2 of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, Drake May, Baker Mayfield. I'm not going to say top 10, top 15, top 5. I'm not going to say any of that. I just think these are 2, this season, 2 of the best quarterbacks we have seen in 2025. And they are each going up against what I think are solid defenses, but both of these defenses have weaknesses in the secondary. I think it's going to be a shootout, gunslinging game between Baker Mayfield, Drake May. I already see the Tampa Bay Sun on the field. I see a lot of breakaway touchdowns. Emeka Ibuka is probably going to bust one out there. I think you take your pick of the litter with all the wideouts that the Patriots have. I think there's going to be big plays. This is going to be a fun shootout. My under, though, I'm going to the Buffalo and Dolphins game, under 50.5. I mentioned it when you were talking about the Dolphins. I think this is going to be a close game because I think it's going to be ugly. Recently, this Dolphins and Buffalo series has been going to the over, but this feels like it's due for an under. I could see some sloppy play. We know we're going to get that out of Tua, turn the ball over. And I think Josh Allen, I think he has a tendencies in his past to have turnover-prone games. I see this game being ugly. I see it being back and forth, and I see the Bills ultimately winning, but they win a close game, and it's one that has us raising our eyebrows at the end of it. James, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, man. No, thinking about your picks, I would have went Minnesota 4.5. I like the trend. Over extended rest, Lamar Jackson is only 11-14 against the spread. I'm with you on this one. If Davis Mills is playing, why aren't the Jaguars 3-point favorites? I don't see this team getting, I see this also being an under game, but Jaguars should be able to handle this pretty easily. I'm with you on this over pick because if the Bucs are behind, you already know what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, Baker Magic.
Baker Magic somehow is going to come in. They're going to throw 500 times. Baker. But yeah, no, I like all the picks. I have none. Of course, division. Oh, maybe the Dolphins one is the I wouldn't want to bet just because, like you mentioned, it's been an overtrain, but still, there's trends that have the divisional unders at a 58% clip, and they are one of those trends that fit the mark. So, hey, man, why don't we just go 8-0 this week, bro? Let's piss off everyone right now.
Hey, we have done it before. We can definitely do it again. So if you have not already, y'all make sure y'all are subscribed to the channel. Make sure y'all like this video and turn on the alerts notifications so y'all know whenever we upload our picks. We do this every single week. You can keep track of our records here. The loser will have a punishment, and I'm thinking we're going to do that ghost pepper challenge that we talked about, James. We'll lock it in later. Y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy all the football, and we will see y'all back here same time next week for Week 11 picks and preview. Y'all take it easy.